Hello. Happy Sunday. 'Tis I, Awkward Turtle. I'm Maggie today. I have no real cause, no real reason, but I am. So I'm just sharing that with you all so that you don't overly concern yourself with my energy. It's just a little low. Okay? Well, we'll get through this because I have things to say. This is Awkward Turtle. These are Awkward Turtle things. Welcome to episode 7. Let's talk control. Hi, I'm Leslie and I have control issues. I guess we all do. I am no single member of this group. Maybe it's control obsession issues. I don't really know. I'm not gonna diagnose myself. I just know that control is a theme that has been coming up a lot, and I know that I mentioned it in a previous episode and said that we would run it back, and it was like so loud to me when I was writing down my thoughts about control this week. And I feel like I've struggled with the desire for control my entire life. And I thought that it was only in the really masculine presenting ways that we see men obsess over control of their appearance and of their pride and of their money and women, and like the loud ways were the only ones that I really saw a need for control in. And I would always clock it. Like, it was easy for me to be like, you're obsessed with control. You need to release that. Doesn't exist. But I guess I have the more subtle ways of desiring it. Like doing certain things to get certain outcomes. And I'll get into it. I'll get into what I do and what's wrong with me. However, I really thought I was exempt. And I'm not. So that's what we're talking about today. We have no control of anything except for our actions and our reactions. That's it. We don't have control of our feelings. We don't have control of our thoughts, although we can guide them. Of course, we don't have control of whether a thought is going to pop into our head. We can only control where that thought leads us. Jeez, my hair. Jace. What we choose to say and what we choose to do are the two things that we can control. Actions, reactions. That's it. Are you with me? Stay with me. Let me cook. On a strictly personal level, Leslie, I feel like I was brought to this earth to love people freely, to just give love, not expect anything in return. Genuinely, I give love. You can keep it. I don't need it back. That being said, the desire to be seen the way that you want to is where it gets tricky. I feel like I wanted to maintain an image of being a lover and being a giver and being this wonderful person that people can talk to and being funny and being happy all the time. However, when you want to ensure that people see you in this way, that is where people pleasing can come in, okay? Hi, I'm Leslie and I'm a recovering people pleaser. Upon reflection, I have discovered that my people pleasing was a way for me to try to get people to see me in the light that I want to be seen in by eliminating the word no. Like, I would just kind of figure it out for people. You need me. You need my car. You need me to take you somewhere. You need money. You need me to be a listening ear. Even if you can't be that for me when I need it. Sure. Yeah. When do you need it? Now? Every day of this week? Sure. Absolutely. Anytime. In that same breath, this leaves room for people to pedestalize you, okay? And I mentioned this in a previous episode as well. And so this term pedestalizing is essentially putting you on a pedestal and leaving you up there. And you have no room for error. You have no room for any kind of wrongdoing to a person because they see you as this person who doesn't say no, okay? And so when you start to say no, you're the worst person ever. When you start to have boundaries, you suck. Like, you're actually the worst, and everything that you did good for me is gone out the drain. Versus people who start with boundaries are thanked 7 million times over when they do something for someone after saying no 7 times. A realization that I started to have more so in the last couple years is that these people that I am trying to please, they are rejecting me. They are, I'm seeking their approval in the form of never saying no and just being this person for them time and time again. And then when I really sit down, I'm like, What is the purpose of me trying to please these people? They're not even as cool as you. They're not even as funny. They're not as pure-hearted. They don't even want to see you win, but you want their approval for what? And so once I kind of started to question my own motives and like, what is it about these people that I need to be approved for? And of course, it stems from our family systems, right? Like, we want our parents' approval. We want to be accepted in our own families, and we want to be told that we're special and we're wonderful and we're all these things. However, we don't even need the approval of our own families. Genuinely, the approval that we are searching for should come from us. And we should only be seeking that in people who have the capacity to love you the way that you deserve to be loved. In the self-awareness journey, in wanting to love yourself and cater to your needs, I'm sitting there and I'm like so funny and I'm so sweet and I'm so full of life. I'm so live, laugh, love. These people are losers. They're not even that great. Like, why not please me? Like, let's do what Leslie wants to do instead of seeking this approval from other people. Even within my family dynamics, like, I wanted to be perceived as this sweet baby girl who's still Catholic, who does nothing wrong. And it's like, for what? I mean, like, it kept me safe when it did. You know what I mean? Like, I like the idea of having my privacy private, and having a facade helped me to do that. But it cost me my authenticity, you know? It cost me my desire to be seen and my genuine need for people to see me for who I am and not what I'm portraying. And it was like an added like wall. And like, I wanted people to pry into it, but I also was like, well, man, just take it easy. Back up a little bit. I'm pretty complicated. I'm more complicated than I let on, honestly. So that to say, people pleasing is a form of control, because you are trying to control the narrative of yourself and being this wonderful person. And secretly, you're hoping that that person will love and accept you and see you for who you are and promote that propaganda. And it's not an accurate depiction of you. It's not your authentic version. It's the yes man in you. It's kind of the pick me in you. And it is a form of control. So sorry to break it to you. Another form of control is lying. That's pretty obvious, right? But lying, cheating, gaslighting, you're not giving people an accurate picture of yourself. And I hate to put the people pleasing in the same category, because you're not being your authentic self. So it is a form of control. However, this is like I guess it's a spectrum. Control is a spectrum. And lying, cheating, manipulating, gaslighting, you are intentionally altering someone's reality so that they stay in your life, and you're removing the option of them staying or leaving. And I don't want to say that you're forcing them to stay, but by way of lying, of cheating, of gaslighting, you're not giving the person the space and the time to consider whether they would want to choose this dynamic. Are you following me? You're saying this is what's really happening. You're going to believe the truth over me? That's crazy work. The people who are manipulated, gaslit, lied to, they're left to uncover that truth by themselves. Whether they have concrete evidence or it's just their intuition telling them that something is wrong, they are left to unalter their reality and come back to earth, because they were just living the most insane facade, and it's not fun. What I uncovered in thinking about control and my desire and obsession for it, something that really, really, really fucked with my head in my last relationship and breaking up, was the idea that I would be told in someone else's perspective in a way that I don't agree to, in a way that I knew would be altered to their own reality as they tried to alter mine. And I couldn't take that. I don't know how many people relate to that part of it, because I know some people who They're just like, yeah, say what you want. And I feel that way now. But for a long time, it was like, I hated the idea that somebody has perceived me in a negative way. And even if they haven't perceived me in a negative way, they're going to portray me in a negative way. And that really fucked with my head, honestly. It was one of the most anxiety-inducing parts of a breakup, was thinking about how somebody was going to misconstrue my love for them in order to appear as not as hurt or not in their ego. My rice is done. I was worried about the lies that they would tell, similar lies that I was told, and realities altered for everyone else, and the warped perceptions about me, and all the aftermath of emotional and psychological abuse. It's just, yeah, we worry about the wrong things instead of just working on healing our nervous system. I had such terrible anxiety healing from the breakup, and this was a big part of it. It was my desire for control of the narrative and like what really happened, and like literally the hearing all these videos of the let them, if they want to, let them. And I couldn't. I'm like, no, fuck out of here. You're not about to talk shit about me. Okay. Mind you, I feel like I was keeping the peace, people pleasing, so that lies wouldn't be told about me, but they were told anyway. So, and in all that anxiety, I am really good about affirmations, as we mentioned in the last episode. And one affirmation that I would tell myself was, you know your own truth. You're only in control of what you do and what you say and how you react. God is the seer of all things. He's the only one you need to explain yourself to. And people who are the truth seekers as well will see your heart. And so, reminding myself of this, I had it written down, and I would have to constantly read this daily, several times a day, so that I can bring myself down, so I can ground myself. And like little other affirmations, like you're okay, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, breathe in positivity, exhale negativity, all the things that would make me slightly feel better and, not consumed with my own thoughts. So those of you with the same desire for control, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. I still struggle with it because I do want to be seen the way that I want to be seen, which is as somebody who does their best to be a good person. But you're going to be the villain in somebody's story, and you're going to have to be okay with that. At least pose for the picture. I'm just glad that I did the work on my desire for control, and the thing that helped me the most with it was prayer and affirmations. I did spiral so much because of this desire for control, and control is an illusion. It's not real. You, again, only have control of you and what you do and what you say, and that's literally it. You can't control what people are going to say about you. You can't control how you're perceived. You can only control what you do with that information. And honestly, how people feel about you is none of your business. Something I have to remind myself still to this day, because I've been making it my business. Like I said, I sought God in everything. I don't know how you guys feel about God or what you define them to be. But knowing that there is a greater force out there that you can speak to, that you can tell your problems to, that apparently sees everything you do. And to have faith in that person and even in yourself to just like figure it out was like the thing that really got me through it. And through the really tough parts of the breakup. So, yeah. And if you're someone that's going through this right now, my heart goes out to you. Transparently, a week ago, I was looking at pictures of myself from a year ago, and I was just crying. I was crying my eyes out because I'm like, that poor girl, she was so sad, and like seeking the approval of somebody who didn't deserve any of my conversation, any of my love, or anything that I gave. And it's sad, it's very disheartening, especially for somebody who does their best to pour the love into people that she would want herself. And I just had to hug myself and, rock myself to sleep, because it's a rough time. It's hard to fully process how much you spent enduring pain that you knew was not going to let up as long as you stayed in that situation. If you need a prayer, if you're going through something that you feel so strongly that you want control of, but you're starting to understand that you have no control, or you're ready to release control, because that's when the peace eventually sets in, is when you have that understanding, then this is a prayer that I would repeat to myself nightly and daily, and just yap to God. God, I know you see my heart. You see my intentions. I'm coming to you as humbly as I can. I'm hurting and I'm sad and I feel lonely, but I know I'm never alone. Please help me in times of need to know and trust in you. Please give me the strength and the faith to release control. If it's not in your path for me, I don't want it. Remove it from my environment. If it's unaligned with my ascension, I don't need it. Always guide me to see the bigger picture and allow me to go forth with faith and purpose. Amen. And I'll leave you with that, kids. Thank you so much for watching, and